So I dropped out of high school. I got my diploma doing a program. It was called Youth Corps, and I got my high school diploma. It wasn't my GED, and went on about my life. I never thought about going back to school again. I mean, it did cross my mind a couple of times, but it was never like unnecessary evil in my perspective. You know, I wasn't like, oh, I need to do this because it'll help me better in life. Because I always thought that, it wouldn't help me better in life. As much as people thought that I should go, like my teachers would say I should go because of how high my grades were, how smart I am. You know, potato, potato. They all just didn't interest me. None of that interested me. And now I'm living in 2024. We're all living in 2024, but right now, me personally, I'm experiencing 2024 and the hardships of being broke. And I'm not trying to put that out there into the universe, but that's just the cruel reality of the fact that I don't have no money. And that's fine because that's not anyone else's fault. I'm not sitting here crying about it, but I could only imagine how much worse I would be if I had to pay off student loan debt. Like I'm lucky that I don't have to do all that. If I wanted to go to college, I would have had to take out a student loan, and when I took out a student loan, then I would have to pay back the student loan, and eventually I would be just, broke from spending all that money trying to get a career, and it wouldn't have been guaranteed for me to get it because it's such a cutthroat, dry job market that who's gonna tell you that who's gonna get you into who's gonna tell you every job is gonna be available? Like no one's gonna tell you like, oh yeah. So yesterday I applied for ShopRite. This is another store, and they told me that they're only looking for part time. On the website that says full time, and I'm looking for a full time position. They said no, we need part time first. And I was like, okay, whatever, I'm not doing that because I'm already at a part-time job, and as much as I don't like it, I am getting paid decent amount of money, so there's no point in me getting a full-time, like another part-time job on top of it, because they're both right across the street from each other, and I make 32 hours a week, which is enough for me to maintain my bills, but at the same time, it's not enough for me to live my life. I'm pretty stuck on the idea of just paying my bills and my loans because I have credit card debt, and that was something that I wasn't really aware of was a negative thing until I actually ended up in the situation with credit card debt. But that's not a whole cry for me. The point of this is saying, I ended up in a bad spot anyways, even if I didn't go to college, but it's not as bad of a spot as if I went to college, because I only owe about like $7,000 to my credit cards, and I've been paying them off slowly. However, if I went to college, then I'd be paying like, what, I don't even know. I'd be paying so much money a month. Let's just say my girlfriend. My girlfriend, she went to cosmetology school and she ended up graduating and she got her cosmetology license like 2 months ago. She finally got a job for cosmetology, but it ended up being a, what was it? It's a minimum wage job. She's paying all this money for her student loans. It's gonna take her like 5 to 10 years to complete if they don't keep adding more interest to it too, because inflation and all that. So she's going to be paying that for the rest of her, for like 10 years, right? Unless she can make extra money but she can't because she works and makes minimum wage. She gets 45% commission on sales, but most of the time people aren't gonna buy sales. Like not everyone has the money. If you're going for a haircut, you're lucky if you get a tip. And I think it's wrong. I think people should be getting tips for doing labor like that because that's like but that's not the point. The point is she went to cosmetology school Took her like a year or two, I think. I'm not sure. She graduated, she got her license, and now she's working minimum wage in the field that she desired. You would think, oh yeah, it's the field she desired. That's awesome. She must be living it up. No, she's not. Like, she's happy about it, but at the same time, I'm not here to speak on her feelings. So I'm not going to delve too deep into that. However, I am going to bring up the fact that she did not want to go at first. She felt pressured, she needed to, and that's fair enough. You know, that's how a lot of people are. You feel pressured and you must do it, and if you don't, then you're a failure at life. And it just leaves you feeling like a failure, and that's not right. And then by the time you finally do it, you're shit out of luck because you didn't make enough money. You're not making enough money. Now you got to pay off all these loans. It's going to take you the rest of your life. There's certain jobs I think that you need to go to school for. Like being a doctor. I don't think doing a certificate could do that, but a lot of these jobs you can just get a certificate. Like if you want to be in cybersecurity, that's a example that popped up recently on. So yeah, you want to be cybersecurity, you could do courses for that. It saves you 4 years and it saves you so much money. Now, will you necessarily get into the biggest places with that? I'm not I'm not too certain. I don't think so. But if you're not looking for something to if you're not looking to make a big name for yourself, if you're just looking to live your life, make enough money to live and be happy, then you don't necessarily need to go to college. You can do trade school, like my wife did, my girlfriend. She's like my other half, so I see her as my wife. But you can go to trade school, you can go to, you can do courses online. There's plenty of things that you can do that would be way better fits of your time. Because not everyone is designed for school. Not everyone is designed for college, especially in the way that it's designed now. You know, you spend all this money, you do all these extra subjects except for the thing you're looking for, and then you have all this extra knowledge that you didn't need to know, but that you do now. You have all this extra knowledge, and for what? That's the question. For what? Because obviously, not everyone is going to be working in the same place all the time. So, say if you and like 5 of your friends become doctors, right? You guys all spend that money to go to the doctor, like go to college. You go get your diplomas and all that. You're a licensed doctor. You're a licensed doctor. You're a practitioner, right? Practitioner. At the end of the day, you're not going to be guaranteed the same amount of money as somebody else who you did go to school with. So you go to a local hospital, right, in your hometown, and you're making some pretty decent bucks. Not gonna lie, like you're making some pretty solid moolah, some pretty affordable living. But then you end up talking to your friend after he graduates, and he's working in one of the most prestigious in one of the most prestigious hospitals in the entire world. And you might be asking yourself, well, how did that happen? Because nothing's guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to get the same job. There's so many people in such a cutthroat market for all these places where it's not worth it, in my opinion, to fight over it. Now, I'm using doctor as an example, I think we need doctors. People need to step up and be doctors. I would, but I don't really, it's not really my cup of tea. However, I can acknowledge that, you know, there's a lot of people who just go to college, go to school, and just end up not doing anything with it. Like, that's the point I'm trying to make. If you're gonna figure out a career for yourself, if you know what you want to do, then by all means do it. Go to school, go get all. But if you are unsure and you still are on the fence and you end up like trying to figure out what you should do, then don't jump into college, because you know what? You're just gonna end up full of regrets making decent money, and pretty, I'm not gonna lie, you'd be pretty depressed. I mean, I'm not saying this to speak on everyone, but if you were living in such a shitty spot with shitty money while paying off all these bills and all these loans, all these bills on top of your normal living, you would be miserable. So, if you are unsure, don't do it. Don't do anything until you're certain. And if you are sure, then go for it. There's other options too. You don't necessarily need to go to college. Like, there's this guy who comes in to fix the oven in the kitchen, right? Because our job is so cheap, they got some broke ass ovens that keep breaking every couple days, but that's besides the point. So he comes in and I'm talking with him. He's explaining to me about his situation, his company, and there's a lack of people who are working there. And you know what? You don't need to graduate. You don't need to go to college for this job that he was telling me about. The reason that he's in college, the reason that people don't do it is because schools don't allow them to enter the place and explain like, hey, look, this is what this is about, and this is a good career option. They don't like that because then it takes away from the idea that these students are going to go to college and make the system more money, because it's not just the teacher's fault or anyone's fault, but they make a lot of money, and they're indoctrinated. They're told that you need to go to college to make money. So yeah, it's just something to keep in mind. If you're not certain, just don't do it. If you are, then go for it. I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you enjoy it. With that being said, I'm gonna head on out. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you liked the video, please like it. Comment if you're new around here. Tell me what your favorite what your plans are for life. Like, what are your goals and aspirations? Maybe if you write them down, it'll make it a little easier for you to decide what you want to do. And with that being said, my name's Thor, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Subscribe. Peace, broskies. See ya. Okay, I had to record this. No, I didn't want them to kill the horse. Okay, gonna have to grab these guys. Alright, now we got them. So, yeah, I'll just have to make a pen for them.